and welcome to the We Like Sports podcast with myself, Riggs, professional Parker Pierce, Peyton Vince. We're live from me and the producer / best friend's house, the bro room, the kick it room, the chill it place, whatever you want to call it. We hope everyone have a happy Thanksgiving with your friends and your family and your loved ones that's coming up tomorrow. And we hope you enjoyed today's show. So, let's get some things started, gentlemen.
Why
First
every
of all,
time?
Why do you interrupt me when I talk?
Go ahead.
First of all, let's talk about the most important thing, and that's that tomorrow is Thanksgiving.
Gobble, gobble.
And I cannot wait for some green bean casserole, some mashed potatoes, some gravy, and cranberry sauce.
You could tell we're all guys when he ends up mentioning green bean casserole, and we're like, food,
Right.
great.
That sounds great. Boys, I keep looking out the window. We got Nunzio's Pizza coming. That's going to be
I hope they hop
epic.
on air. That'd be funny.
Yeah,
That'll be great.
not
We
a
might have
sponsor.
Nunzio's Pizza guy
Yeah.
jump on board real quick.
Not a sponsor yet. But anyways, Riggs, I got a question for you while I'm finishing up sharing this show. I almost said this stuff, but I might as well just say what I'm doing. When you bring in the show, why every time do you like pause before you talk and you're like, well, welcome everybody. Like you
Because I'm collecting my thoughts and I'm
It's
doing
called gestures.
right, and I'm doing something that my mom raised me on that I'm doing now later on in my life, and that's thinking before I
See,
speak.
the
Oh,
problem,
that's a good one, then.
Also, the problem is Peyton went to school for, voice and radio, not really actually, his face being seen and people seeing what he's actually doing. So he just kind of sits there like a, I don't know, like a statue just getting, pooped on by birds, just no enthusiasm, no nothing, just sitting there staring at his phone.
I'm telling you what I'm doing beforehand, and then I'll be engaging.
Oh no!
the
I
audience
asked
in
Riggs.
sports.
I asked Riggs what he was doing for Thanksgiving, not you. So what do we have going on?
For Thanksgiving.
No, for today's show.
Well, today's show. Oh, let's start it off with this tip off. What is your favorite Thanksgiving Day tradition here?
Ooh,
Go ahead.
like in the NFL, or just
In real life,
Thanksgiving.
it doesn't like whatever your tradition is.
my
football,
tradition
sports,
is
whatever.
to pretty much fall asleep after my third plate. That's my favorite tradition.
Okay.
And also my aunt. Shout out to my aunt Patty. When she used
what's
to
up,
make
Aunt
mashed
Patty?
potatoes, she'd make a big bowl for everybody and a bowl about half the size that was just for me because I'd eat so many mashed potatoes.
Nice. My favorite Thanksgiving Day tradition is eating food, drinking beer, watching football, rather if I'm with friends or if I'm with family, and just having a good time and being in bed at a decent hour just because I earned it. I ate my ass off, and it's well deserved. So that's one of my Thanksgiving traditions. I mean, I'm just being honest.
You did what now?
Well,
He ate his ass off.
Wow. Okay, but anyways, I guess for me, last year was like kind of just like a shock because that was the first year in retail, working at a mall and having to work Thanksgiving night 6 to 12 a.m. That sucked. But that was like the weirdest year because I felt like I was rushed because I had to go to work afterwards and like it wasn't what life was. Usually Thanksgiving outside of this year, because this year's just completely weird, I'm playing in a Thanksgiving Day, morning day softball tournament instead of a turkey bowl. Well, not even a tournament, it's just a pickup game we're having. But
He asked what your favorite tradition is, not what you did last year and what you're doing this year. He's talking about like what's your favorite tradition? Like what do you do every year growing up? What's
like watch football. You always watch the Lions
Alright,
lose
that's
and the Cowboys lose, and you watch football, and then you end up watching the Steelers win at night usually on Thanksgiving night.
well, not tomorrow night.
Yeah. Let's talk about that. Do you guys feel like the Steelers? How are they still 10-0 and they are just drawing the short stick every single time? I mean, they
I'm
lose,
sick and tired
they
of
lose
hearing
their-
this argument.
They lose their bye week. They had to play the Titans during their bye week, so they got their bye week when they weren't expecting it. So they practiced all week. They didn't get that rest. Now they're losing their short bye week because every team gets that Thursday night game, and then it's a short bye week, because you have 10 days to prepare for the next one. And the Steelers are losing both of those. They're losing their bye week and their short bye week, yet still they're somehow 10-0. It's crazy.
It blows my mind too. And I hate to be such a diehard Browns fan, and I want to find an excuse on one. Well, I know why they're good. It's good coaching and having a great staff. That's great core human beings. So I know why they're good, but it just bothers me, like what Parker Pierce said. It's just, it seems so easy for them, and I don't know if I should talk about my conspiracy on.
No,
why.
we're not getting to the conspiracy yet because there is no conspiracy. You can talk about the conspiracy about how it's real, but I'm sick and tired of hearing the take. They face the bad teams. They face the bad teams. They beat the Eagles. When the Browns faced the Eagles, I don't care the conditions. The Steelers won by... Chase Claypool had 4 touchdowns that game. They blew them out. Meanwhile, the Browns versus the Eagles, the same team that the Steelers are beating, they win, 20-16 against the same team?
You didn't play Kansas City. You didn't play the Saints. You didn't play Tampa Bay. You didn't play the Seahawks. You have not played any heavy hitters just yet. All you've had,
Also,
and no disrespect to
the
anybody else and no disrespect to anyone in the National Football League, Pittsburgh being such a high franchise, you should be playing those type of contender teams. You shouldn't be playing, I wouldn't call everyone else like bottom tier teams. And that's no disrespect to your New York Giants and your Broncos and my Cleveland Browns. But it's just...
They played the Titans, though, and they were undefeated.
Riggs, you also
They
got to
both
think
were.
that, this isn't college football. They don't get to make their own schedule like, college football,
Think about
Versus
this.
dude.
This would be my only comment on the crappy Steelers.
I bet that's false, but okay.
No, here's the thing. The Steelers have had 3 coaches and...
Within the last, 60 years?
Okay,
Correct.
Here's the thing. The team itself has a front office that builds and stays strong. The Browns are starting to be a team again. We are starting to grow. So you cannot sit there and go, oh, da-da-da-da. They're just, you guys have a better fucking team. You had an easy roster. Yeah, we have trouble in our roster because we're still fucking growing. We are not developed like you guys are, and that's a compliment in a way. You guys are developed.
Well, it is.
But you guys can sweep the cheerleading squads.
Swear jar. Here, you said F twice.
I mean, that's what the NFL is all about, though. That's why the term
that's
any
not
given
the
Sunday's a
FL.
thing. I mean, it's that's the NFL doesn't matter. You're still playing one of the top 32 teams in the entire world, and there's still it's winning an NFL game, no matter who it is still a tough task. And I mean, the Steelers
Literally,
have just
last
been good at
week's
it.
Get in the Ring question was about having an undefeated team if you'd rather have them be undefeated or take a loss, or 2 weeks ago or whatever. I don't care if they're undefeated. If they're undefeated throughout the year, cool. If they end up having all their starters and they end up losing with their starters, no big deal. Either way, I don't care about being undefeated. It doesn't matter to me. I'd rather count it as a Super Bowl, and if a fan's more worried about an undefeated season, you're in it for the wrong reasons.
Okay.
Do you think it's going to be a Patriots syndrome right there? They're going to go undefeated to the end of the year, and next thing you know, they're going to lose the Super Bowl?
I
Only
sure hope
time
so.
will tell.
I think
so.
if anything that does happen, I think the Steelers, if they do go undefeated, I think that's more threatening. A lot of people on Twitter are saying with the NFL moving the Thursday night Thanksgiving game to Sunday, again with very short notice, and the Steelers being screwed over twice without anything in their control, somebody said you're lighting a fire with gasoline. And that's just, if they end up finishing this season 16-0, they might go all the way out and be 19-0. That might happen. That's how strong they are, because everything's clicking and the rookies are even doing good, and that's a huge factor.
All right, let's get on to other sports.
Okay, so what, in your opinion...
Because I'm done talking about the Steelers.
Yeah, because I'll talk about my conspiracy when we get to the NFL. What, in your opinion, is the worst fan base of all sports?
Besides the Steelers, I don't want to hear that
And
take.
okay, and I don't want to say the Steelers. I want to say it's... I want to say it's the crybaby. It's the crybaby franchises that... Okay, like your New England Patriots. You know, like go online and watch their reaction photo or their reaction videos on YouTube or whatnot, and watch them go crazy when Tom Brady and Belichick couldn't beat Peyton Manning that year. Boo-hoo, cry me a river. You saw how many parades? You saw how many Lombardi championships? And I'm not just saying that as a Browns fan. I'm saying that as for everybody else that has a national football team who's never even seen a trophy, who's never even seen a championship, whose team's not even known as world champions. So, in my aspect, that just says, like, it's like a spoiled kid. You're used to getting what you want, and that one time you don't get it, you cry about it. Suck it up, Buttercup. You know you're going to get it again next year. But because you don't get it done your way, I'm trying to watch my mouth
Justin Timberlake's
to a new
crying me a
level.
river. That's what I'm thinking of. That's not coming from you. It's coming from Justin.
I'd say that the whole entire Boston fan base, no matter what sport it is probably my least
Boston
favorite.
or New York?
No, Boston.
Just Boston.
Boston.
There's more riots over lost games than any other
It's Boston all day because they're always in the mix.
Yep.
And they
And they had that big drought, so then I mean, with the Red Sox and like they fell
Exactly.
cursed, even though they had the Celtics winning back in the 80s and 90s.
And then in 2008,
Yeah.
Kevin Garnett losing his voice on the court from screaming. And then
they hit the three-peat too with the Bruins, the Red Sox, and the New England Patriots.
And the thing that kills me is, and I think the city of Boston, the tri-state area up there, whatnot, they do deserve this new title because I think they call it to Green Bay Title Town. I think that deserves to go up to that area, and that's no question. You earned that. Even though I get sick and tired of seeing you guys in all your respective championship games, you earn and deserve that. You should be called Title Town. New York just has the money, and they just gamble it on the wrong occasions. That's my opinion.
You know what? If it's between two fan bases, and I think this is what it's turning into, if it's New York against Boston, they're both bad at the same time. I can't stand either fan base. New York, when the Knicks are good, all they talk about is the Knicks. When they're bad, they're not talked about right now. That's the way that things happen at Madison Square Garden, apparently. When the Yankees are good, they're always talked about. They're always around except for 2 or 3 years. But they'll always talk about their 27 rings. They'll always talk about them being good. But remember, like 2-3 seasons ago, they only had 70 wins, and they were way out of the playoffs, and that was the first year of Aaron Judge. Stupid. I can't stand either team, but I honestly am I dislike the New York fan base more than I do Boston, but they're about the same.
I like that. Okay.
They are.
Okay, something we can all agree on.
Wow. Guess we're thankful for, us syncing up and
In
actually,
sync.
We're in sync today. Yeah, we're not backstreet. We're in sync.
Exactly. Okay, I got a question for everybody here on the chat.
Is Backstreet back?
No.
All right.
What sports moment what sports moment in your lifetime were you the most thankful for?
2016.
2016.
Okay, too easy. If anybody else in the We Like Sports chat here on Facebook Live
Or
please,
Twitter.
or
YouTube.
Yes.
Or Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we got.
Shout out KM Voice, Keith Migra.
Where is he at? Is he in that wine glass over there or the Heineken bottle?
He might make an appearance after break.
Ooh, okay.
I just heard a rumor.
Okay,
All
well,
right.
it will be nice to see him here. But
He is actually the pizza guy.
oh
Wouldn't
my
that
god!
be something?
Oh, stop it!
Oh man,
Professional. Okay,
Parker Pierce.
right. So what are we gonna get into next, gentlemen?
What time is it? All right, man. We've got 15 minutes still until we end up going to break.
Yeah, we
So-
just started this thing.
I know, but it's time and the pizza's on my mind. Get in the ring, obviously. Riggs, you got to come up with the question. I think this is where it's at. Unless if you say something otherwise, Parker, that you have some kind of argument that something's going on and the votes aren't counting yet or something, stop me. But as of right now, it's take 2 of this.
Oh, this is gonna be one of those trials. This is the trial of the century. This is not just gonna happen overnight. Trust me, we're getting the details and the facts put together. We're building a very strong case, and I think that my lawyer Brandon, he's gonna be helping me out, and he's gonna get me out of this situation because I hear we have a little bet on who wins. Because I hear you're getting aren't you gonna get Gerald as your
They're gonna ask who's
I think Gerald's
So
gonna
Sunday
be
we
your-
figured this out, and it's going to be a Law and Order type deal. Done. But what we agreed on, we have Gerald as my lawyer, Brandon as Parker's lawyer. We're going to figure out this case. So apparently, by the looks of it, Get in the Ring isn't happening. But whoever ends up losing that court case gets punched in the face by the other person's lawyer.
No, by their own lawyer. So Gerald will be punched.
Well, I was gonna
in
say
the-
No, that's not the case.
No,
It's-
they get punched by their own lawyer.
No, that wasn't what was
Yes,
agreed
it is.
on because Brandon said he wanted to punch me, and then we said the loser's lawyer or the winner's lawyer gets to punch the loser's lawyer in the face.
Is that so?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure Brandon said that whoever loses gets hit by their own lawyer.
I don't
That's why
think
he
that's
wanted
true.
to get Gerald as your lawyer.
That's terrible. That's not. You know that's recorded. That's always
That's
what
the only
Keith says.
person. That's the issue, though. That's the only person that's going to want to represent you. Then nobody else wants to represent you in this case because they know it's an open and closed case.
Riggs, do you want to represent me?
If I can get the time off of work this Sunday, I will gladly. But let's keep the other guy in the back seat just
No,
in
we'll
case.
have Gerald and you together. It's going to
Okay.
be 2 against 1 because I could afford both you guys. That's what's going to be my lawyer case. I guess you could have maybe Brian if he's good enough.
We'll see.
Or Joe if Joe comes out. Or who knows? Maybe it's a party at First Stop on Sunday. Stay tuned. We're going to be not hungover because that's what everybody's doing tonight.
Exactly.
But anyways, for Get in the Ring, apparently I think I got a text message.
You could have a little scrimmage, a little non-title action. Keep yourself warm against Riggs today.
Against Riggs?
Yes.
I don't even know. I don't even have a question built up.
You're
going to
be facing me.
Oh.
Yes.
So
you don't
Parker's
have to-
going to have the question.
That's right.
Is it
That's
what I heard? I
absolutely
got a text message from Nevada and Michigan and Wisconsin that there's a recount going on.
Yes, there is.
What's going on over there?
I don't know. I was hoping the pizza was here. He ran off in a flash.
But
All right.
anyways, what's the
So,
question? Where
Get
is
in
the pizza
ring
guy?
question. The get in the ring question is: with the Browns having all these COVID cases and injuries on the defensive end, end as in not the offensive side, the defensive side. You got your defensive end, Myles Garrett out. Sion Taki, he's going to be missing this Sunday with COVID. You got...
Hold on, really quick. With Sione Taki.
With-
Everybody watches wrestling here. Did you guys see what the Sheik tweeted out on Sunday?
Oh my goodness! Can we say
I
it
did
on
not.
air?
Yes, because it was either way. I'm saying it. I gotta find it though.
Shout out to the Iron Sheik.
Hold on.
all right, so
Anyways,
anyway,
fill this time up.
so the question is, with all these injuries, are you worried about the Browns losing a game this Sunday to the Jacksonville Jaguars due to lack of depth? And,
found it.
It's any given Sunday. You never know. The Jags is one of those teams I kind of worry about.
So
Are you worried or are you not worried with everything going on going into Sunday as a Browns fan?
So, anyways, let me get this statement out because I finally pulled it up. The Iron Sheik tweeted, "The Taki no jabroni." And I was crying because I was not expecting the Sheik to watch football.
That was great.
Let alone the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
So that made me laugh. But anyways, I go first. Let me know when I get a ding ding. You need my timer, don't you?
No, I don't. I
No?
got a mental clock in my head.
Here, I'll give you a timer because I feel like you're going to screw me over.
Oh, all right. Ready, go.
So anyways, hold on. I'm double checking on the subject at hand because
you
I
said
was...
for me to start it.
No, I didn't. Hold on. I didn't even get a ding ding. But anyways, it's the Browns being unhealthy if it's an excuse or anything to worry about. Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
Okay, go.
Like, is it?
I need a ding ding and then give me a go.
All right.
All right, no ding ding.
Ding,
All
ding,
right,
ding.
so with the Browns defense, it's always going to be and always has been in any sport, next man up. You got to step up. It doesn't matter who you are. If Myles Garrett's missing, the whole rest of the defense provided the fact that you had a breakout game by Sione Taki, who's been terrible to start the year. It has to be the next man up, and the Jacksonville Jaguars are 1-9, or 1 and whatever. I wouldn't even worry about them because they're on their third starting quarterback this week throughout the whole entire season. That's a wasted time. The Jaguars, don't worry about, but don't overlook them either if you're a Browns fan or the Browns.
Time.
Son of a bitch. You took coming from motherfucker. All right, I'm gonna try my best on this one.
All right.
All right.
Ding, ding.
I think it does kind of worry me because what if, knowing the Cleveland Browns' luck, knowing our history, what if something happens on that field and that next man up doesn't show up, or that next man up throws up and he just can't play? Like what? Like knowing our luck, like why? Like especially against a piece of crap team like the Jacksonville Jaguars, and then on any given Sunday, watch. When we're hot. Then we're not. And it would bother me because I feel like it would lose confidence in our defensive line, and then that puts more pressure on the offense. I hope I did good.
You got 5.
He also
Payton's
gave you an
4.
extra second. I
You
want to
got one extra
recount in
second.
that too now.
Oh no! Oh gosh!
I let you finish your thought.
No, that's not fair. I feel like he didn't let me finish my thought, and he gets an extra second. I saw on my time I had 33, and you get 35.
I felt so bad that I had to bash the team a little bit because I wanted.
All right.
Yeah,
so
and
then,
that's not even that's.
So then
I
that's,
want to
that's
recount.
a 4-4 tie then, because that last one did come in the last 2-3 seconds. So yeah, that's a tie. So
So is next Wednesday is Riggs facing winner of that court case, or what's going on?
I think so.
I like that.
I think so.
Wow.
He earned a title shot with that impressive.
I like that.
You know, he just tied the champion elect. That's what he just did. He just tied the champion elect.
And I wasn't so confident going in on that, but then again, I had to dig deep and I had to think like a fickle negative Browns fan for once.
That's 2 weeks in a row that we needed a recount.
True.
Not really necessarily a court case issue now, but it's always something. Anyways, for Get in the Ring next week, next Sunday maybe, who knows, just stay tuned. We're going to figure this out between Parker and I. One of us has to win. This has gone on for too long. This is going to be week 1. Week 2 is going to happen by the time Sunday turns around. Got to figure this out. But anyways, before we go to our first break, we're going to be going to the college football. We're going to give Brian 5 minutes, but we were going to college football anyways because we take breaks at 7:30 here. But anyways, with college football, Riggs, we got our thoughts on Sunday about Ohio State and their close game against Indiana. What were your thoughts of that game since you were working on Sunday and missed out and tis the season for you to work your ass off?
My only thing about Justin Fields, when I was going on all sorts of social media, and even some people you and I know were basically saying, oh, he's definitely not a top 10 quarterback going into an NFL draft.
You're talking about him.
I'm like, it was someone I knew on my Facebook, and I glanced right through that. So
and Troy called him out for it, too.
And I'm like, over here, I'm like, damn. I'm like, well, is he stinking the bed that bad? Then didn't he throw 3 picks?
Yeah, 3 picks,
Okay.
2 touchdowns, but he also threw 1 pick in 2019 the whole entire season.
Okay, I mean, so what? The man doesn't play perfect, and he may be a little suspect during certain drives and, certain plays. But, it happens. Just, I want to see more of him, and I really want to see Justin Fields improve. I know he's not perfect. He's not the god of college quarterback football.
But the thing is that said person that made that said comment, the problem was that he said he's not going to go top 10. I guess in return, and this is pretty much something I've been thinking about since Sunday, if you don't think Justin Fields is a top 10 player or a top 10 pick, name me 10 other players right now in the NFL or in the college football that would be better than him.
Well, I mean, there's so many offensive linemen and so many, tight ends and not tight ends, but so many offensive and defensive linemen who really, really shine in the combine every year. So once I watch the combine and get those guys more figured out, then I'll give you an easy 10.
Oh, I love watching the combine. I really do.
Easy 10.
I seriously do. When I watch the NFL combine, it makes me want to go and work out. Like watching these guys put up 225 and seeing how much they can put that bitch up in a certain amount of time. Oh my goodness, just seeing how fast they can run, seeing them run routes. It really, really makes me hate the fact that I wanted to become a Tony Hawk in my neighborhood and I should have played sports for James Ford Rhodes football team. But I'm sorry, I love watching the NFL combine.
You got a little deep there too
I
for
did.
a second.
When I watch it, I'm like, oh, I'm in my underwear too. Like, it's crazy. I shouldn't have. That was weird. Why? All right.
So anyways, I want to say this is actually the college football rankings of the season now. This is what college football, the whole rankings, not the AP, but the college football rankings. I don't think this is right according to ESPN because I want to say yesterday they had Alabama at 1, a couple other teams too, and I'm trying to figure that out. So according to this on Google, it's Alabama at 1, Notre Dame at 2, Ohio State at 3, and Clemson at 4.
Didn't Notre Dame play bad last year or so like that? Like, yeah, because I remember people were so pissed
So
off
it'd be
about Notre
Alabama
Dame.
against Clemson and Notre Dame against Ohio State.
I will happily take Notre Dame.
I
in
know
the
some
first
people
game.
that would love to see that
absolutely
battle.
Take it. I mean, how
Who
many
would you
times
say?
I feel like we beat Notre Dame all the time, going back even back to the Brady Quinn era. Like we just don't lose to Notre Dame lately.
I would go after Clemson because I want that revenge back. But in the exact same time too, yesterday I heard that Ohio State actually is going to be in the number 2 spot pretty soon.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I sure hope so. That's definitely the truth.
I would love to see Notre Dame and Ohio State.
I want to see Clemson just because of the fact that I want revenge.
I think the best, I'm gonna get off subject, but it's about college football. Like I said, the best college football game, championship game I seen was Mariota versus Jameis Winston. I remember watching that whole game, and I was entertained. Like I kind of put my foot in my mouth. I'm like, wow, these guys are gonna be something in the NFL. So
What schools? Mariota.
Mariota.
It was Oregon against Florida State. That's what he's talking about.
Oh, like yeah, I said,
You said Mariota.
yeah.
Or no, you said Marietta.
Did I say-
College
okay,
Marietta.
yeah.
Like,
Thank you for
I'm like,
catching
wait
me
a
on
minute.
that.
You guys are confusing me. But number 1, this is the actual rankings. They're saying that Alabama is number 1, Notre Dame 2, Clemson's at number 3, and Ohio State's at 4. Only because they played 4 games, and that's why they're at 4.
Hey, all you gotta do is get in there. Look what happened in 2014.
Yeah, that's true. And the thing
At least
is,
there's a playoff now.
is they have an easy schedule the rest of the way. This week they face Illinois, then I think it's Michigan State, then Minnesota, and then Michigan, and that's it. And then it's the Big Ten Championship. But with Ohio State facing Illinois this upcoming weekend, this should be a blowout without a doubt, right?
Yes,
Absolutely.
a
I just
blowout,
like their
but I wanna
name
be
though, the
entertained.
Fighting Illini. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I always like that nickname for them.
The thing is like I'm viewing this kind of as like the Ohio State-Michigan game that like everybody's saying that you're going to put up 100 points against Michigan. If they're able to put up 100 points to Michigan, this game's going to tell you if they're able to, because Illinois, they should easily put up like 70 even with their second stringers. If they're not, they're holding back, or else they're trying as hard as possible. But it depends. You could see when a team ends up playing off the ball and they stop caring when they go into their prevent defense. But that's going to be the game if you could tell that Ohio State's going to be able to put up 100 against Michigan.
We can only wish.
But, I mean, other than that, with Ohio State being in the college football rankings, where do you see Ohio State finishing up near the end of the year, though?
They're gonna be in the top 4. I don't see them losing. They're gonna get in the playoffs, and hopefully they do.
We got 2 people saying number 1. Are you agreeing with that? That they're going to finish number 1?
I don't think they're not gonna finish number 1, but I think they have a good shot to win the championship. They're not gonna be the number 1 seed in the playoffs, I don't think, but I do just because of the weakness of schedule. Unless Alabama, Clemson, or Notre Dame, unless one of them loses, that's the only way they're going to jump up out of the 4th spot, I think.
I could see also if Clemson ends up losing another game or two, that's how they end up getting knocked out.
Well, yeah.
But anyways, for our fans that are just joining us now at our usual 7:30 start time roughly, we're going to be taking a quick break. We already talked about the tip-off. We got in the ring. There's recounts everywhere. We got to college football. Now we're going to be talking about basketball. We'll be going till 9 o'clock tonight, right? Yeah, that's a half hour earlier. But when we get back, we'll be talking more about NBA. If you've seen the show before, we hardly ever stay on topic. So just enjoy it. Don't go anywhere. Make sure, Riggs, that you manscaped your cat.
So what?
.com.
I know, but yes, Manscaped. Use the promo code SPORTS with a Z, SPORTZ. You want to know what? I'm done talking about it. Do it. Manscaped. Shave your balls. But come back to the We Like Sports podcast. Manscaped. Use the promo code SPORTS with a Z, SPORTZ. Ball toner, ball deodorant, ball shaver. And you get a nice bag to shave your hairy bag. Manscaped.
welcome back to the We Like Sports podcast.
The We Like Pizza podcast.
I did not like that because I wiped my nose after, like, right before he pointed at me. So it probably looked like I was, like, touching my nose. And with everything going on right now, it's not good. But, yeah, my apologies. Welcome back to the We Like Sports podcast. Nunzio's not a sponsor yet, but that's what we were eating. Riggs, Parker Pierce, Peyton Vince, and it looks like actually right now we're going to be joined by... Is he a friend of the show, or is he still on the show? I don't know. Keith, what are you...
It's our dad.
Yeah, our dad. That explains why I called him Daddy before, but...
Did you?
I said you.
No, I called DeWine Daddy.
Oh, my bad. I thought it was the same one. But anyways, looks like we're actually joined by Keith right now. So, Keith, how's it going? I'm not hearing anything, man.
I don't know, he must be in one of his moods. He's just ignoring this. It's a child's game.
He's frozen? Why did you try, like, doing something and, like, it didn't work?
He's watching Frozen?
No, he's not. He's watching Frozen, Brian? What are you saying?
So the screen's frozen.
Yeah.
It looks like maybe his phone's not in good link up with it or something.
So, look,
he's holding a hat or something.
Just have him hang up, man. This is a waste of time. I appreciate the effort, but, like, Keith isn't even, like, moving. I'm watching it on my phone, and he's not even moving. And, like, it's funny because it looks like I'm looking down on him when I'm, like, the picture's above me. But, yeah, like, why is he still on the screen? Are you still trying to do something, or is he off?
For you, but I'll retry him later.
All right, we'll reconnect later, I guess. Anyways, as we end up going to the NBA, actually, hold on. Change of plans. You got to be leaving soon, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna go to the NFL and get our picks in, right?
Yes,
because that's
we are.
usually what
Let me talk about my pick'em. Even though I had a bye week, let's call that a fried bye week because I didn't make my picks. And then I think I still made up some ground because I beat Tyler this week.
It was a weird week in the
Tyler
NFL,
didn't
that's for
play.
sure.
He didn't play?
No, he hasn't played this week or last week.
Oh, wow. I'm over here like, wow, I thought I picked up some damn good ground.
Yeah, you hopped over him because he didn't pick.
Wow. Wow, I was happy. I'm like, wow, that bye week, I needed it. But let's go to our picks.
I'm at 91. I'm in the lead right now. Parker's at 86. Riggs, you're at 80. Keith at 78. Keith at 59. Matt Tift at 12. Still. But anyways. No, I didn't. You're giving me chest pains. Anyways, that was probably from pizza too in reality. Tomorrow afternoon, Thanksgiving, Houston against Detroit. You guys both picked Houston. I picked Detroit. I got the stupid hiccups. Take over.
All right, so since we get a chance to, have Peyton be quiet for a while, I'll take care of this segment. Riggs, you got Houston with me, so what are your thoughts on that? Why did you take them?
I picked Houston because I feel like I'm tired of seeing the Detroit Lions play on Thanksgiving or get embarrassed on Thanksgiving. So I might as well just watch somebody else play professional football and win on Thanksgiving. I don't even think the Lions should even play on Thanksgiving for like another 5 to 10 years. So
I agree. I'm sick of seeing Detroit. I mean, they play in a dome. Like, come on, it's supposed to be a turkey bowl. I want to see a muddy game like Cleveland had the past 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see that type of game on Thanksgiving Day. That's what it's called. It's the Mud Bowl. It's the Turkey Bowl. Like, don't play in a dome for the Turkey Bowl.
I'm taking Detroit because they're the ones that usually play on Thanksgiving.
And they usually lose.
They do, but Houston's also not that good this year either. If they end up winning, this would be only their third win, but I think Detroit ends up beating them. They won. They're 4-5. They're right in the middle of the pack.
All right. Well, the next Thanksgiving Day game we have is Dallas and Washington. And you boys took Dallas, and I myself took the Washington football team.
Andy Dalton's back this week, or else he was back last week, but he finally is back after having their Garrett Gilbert, whoever else they had. Yeah, or whoever else they had beforehand. Washington, they're going through Alex Smith. It's two bad teams all the time. It's going to be a good game because it's two bad teams, but I think I think Dallas wins because Washington, they're a developing team and they don't want anything to do, really. They're just trying to tank, it seems.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Well, I went with Washington because I just love the fact that Alex Smith is actually able to play. And, I mean, he had one of the worst leg injuries in recent history for a quarterback, and it was just like, wow. Just the fact that he, came out of retirement and actually got a starting job now as the Washington football team's, quarterback. So that's why I'm excited to watch Washington win against Dallas, because I hate Jerry Jones. All right, Sunday we got Arizona against New England. We all pretty much picked Arizona. I think it's pretty self-explanatory why. Kyler Murray's the GOAT, and he's got so many weapons.
And New England isn't the same since Tom Brady left.
Exactly.
And Tom Brady isn't the same since New England
Your
left
hiccups
him.
are gone. Yay.
Told you, that was a cool trick. Minnesota against Carolina. Minnesota's at home. Everybody's picking Minnesota. Dalvin Cook is leading this team, and it's about time that the Minnesota Vikings end up clicking because they look like the old Cleveland Browns with the way their offense didn't click. But they also did something the Browns didn't usually do in the past and turn their season around and have somebody feed off of that. But obviously things change with the Browns now, but everybody's picking Minnesota for good reason. Got Buffalo against the Chargers. Everybody's picking Buffalo. It seems like this is going to be a common theme this week.
Let's go, Buffalo!
Buffalo's just super hot right now. Justin Herbert, if you look at his stats, he's in possibly the best all-time rookie with the way his stats are right now.
But they're just not winning games.
Exactly, because the quarterback can't really do anything all by himself. It's a team sport at the end of the day. But Buffalo has just been hot, and they've been tough, and they've just pretty much been riding a wave of momentum. Your next game, Vegas against Atlanta. Everybody's picking Vegas. Guys, somebody else explain why we all picked that.
Because the Atlanta Falcons suck and they find ways to lose, and you better not have another primetime game in the National Football League for another 2 years, or until you get better and give them the other teams that deserve them. Mr. Goodell, sir.
Yeah, like Cleveland.
Or hell, Buffalo. Anyone but Atlanta.
How do you feel about us having a better ranking right now than Tom Brady?
We'll get there. Because I'm going to talk about it. I was waiting for that.
Miami against the Jets. Riggs picked the Jets. Apparently he thinks they're not going to lose this week.
Shoot.
Miami.
No, I messed up on that one.
Oh, yeah, you did.
How many
one I
times
messed
does
up
he
on.
have that card?
I said on Sunday, there's no way in hell I will pick the New York Jets in any game the rest of the season.
I messed up on that one.
Yeah, that one, yeah.
That's such an excuse. Just say that like you forgot the Jets were a football team and you thought they were somebody else. New York Giants against the Cincinnati Bengals Burrows. Everybody's picking the Giants.
And you want to why I'm picking the Giants? And this is a shout out to our little brothers down in Cincinnati.
It's actually Kentucky. That's not only a Sir Yacht thing. Some girl came into the store. She said she went to Cincinnati. She goes to the GNC that's in Kentucky because that's how close it is.
Yeah.
And I went, all right, so it's not a Sir Yacht thing. Okay.
No, you've never been to Cincinnati?
No, I
Cincinnati
haven't.
Bengals.
Jesus.
Build an offensive
Cincinnati.
line to protect your quarterback. We've talked about this shows weeks ago. Probably during week 3 or week 4 when the Browns played against the Cincinnati Bengals. We said, wow, that offensive line sucks for Cincinnati. And now your rookie quarterback that you drafted, torn ACL, gone for the year. Yeah, he can sit in Athens, Ohio and collect this money. But the thing is, you put him in a damaged, screwed up situation. And about Cincinnati Bengals, I owe you, Joe Burrow. I'm going to bring you some linemen that are going to be brick crap houses to protect you. And they need to do better in that situation. Like, I feel for that rookie quarterback.
Absolutely.
Indianapolis against Tennessee. I'm picking Indianapolis after Indianapolis beat the Green Bay Packers. Tennessee's hit or miss. I said this last week. Derrick Henry's been ups and downs. Derrick Henry wouldn't look good statistically if he didn't score the game-winning touchdown against Baltimore, which obviously he scored the game-winning touchdown, but wasn't important until then.
Baltimore did not look like Baltimore in that game.
They are really, really going downhill.
Yeah, they look like they're like, who are we right now? Hopefully they can get it together. Whatever happens, happens.
But you guys are picking Tennessee. Why?
Oh, like what you just talked about, just that exclamation mark with Derrick Henry.
Fair enough, I guess. Next game, 1:15 Sunday, which was once Thanksgiving game. Pittsburgh against Baltimore. It's at 1:15 on NBC. I'm picking Pittsburgh. You guys are saying the Ravens, although just now you said that the Ravens are in shambles.
They are, but I mean, I'm not going to pick against the Steelers. I want to see that streak end.
I would like to see the streak end, but I also would like to see Baltimore get back into it. You know, realize like, hey, we're a powerhouse in the AFC. You know, they should Baltimore shouldn't have took those losses the way that they have. You know what I'm saying? Like, because their name and their team holds volumes and standards in the National Football League, and when you take losses like that, you look bad. And I think this should be a bounce back game. I don't care if they're playing in the Canadian Football League. I don't care if they're playing at Estabrook Rec Center. The Baltimore Ravens need a comeback win with this game right now.
I think that's the valid point overall, that the Ravens, it's a must-win game, and if it's a must-win, especially with the way the Ravens are playing, if the Browns end up winning, they're going to end up having more space between the Ravens and themselves, the Browns. Your 4 o'clock game Sunday, New Orleans against Denver. Everybody's picking New Orleans, especially after Taysom Hill ended up having a good game.
Mm-hmm.
Screw him in the tight end position in fantasy. That's a bunch of BS, because I had to play against him and Patrick Mahomes, and I was down by 7 or 8. Had Ronald Jones a second at the end of the game. Everybody's done playing. He's the only one left, and he puts up a solid 2.
That's rough.
Yeah,
That is
I'm
rough.
mad that I had to deal with that. But anyways, everybody's picking New Orleans.
I'm getting on a Taysom Hill bandwagon.
Same here.
Sounds good.
San Francisco 49ers against the Rams. Everybody's picking the Rams.
Yeah, man.
Go on, why?
They just looked really good against Tom Brady, and they made him pout again. And anytime you do that as a defense, I mean, I can't help but root for you in the next game.
And right now, the San Francisco 49ers, they just look lost, boring, confused, and they just want to go home already.
Yeah, that sounds about right. We got Kansas City against Tampa Bay. Riggs, you're picking Tampa Bay. Parker and I are picking Kansas City. Kansas City, they only have 1 loss, and it's to the Las Vegas Raiders. They beat the Raiders last week on Sunday night.
That was a really good game, too.
I want the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win this game because when I watched the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last game, and Mike Evans talks about how, like, hey, I'm playing with a veteran quarterback. I'm getting more primetime games. I'm getting more touches than I've ever gotten in my career. I'm nervous. Everyone else is on the team. We're nervous, but we will gel. We will bond, and it's not going to be perfect right now. And just seeing how Mike Evans, how he scored that first touchdown on the game the other night.
Straight hustle.
Straight hustle. Straight just heart
That's
and
heart.
determination.
Yep.
And I feel like Tom Brady, hey, young man, Pat Mahomes, you won your first Super Bowl, but I have to remind your young ass who I am. So I really want the OG Tom Brady to give it to him.
Next game, we got Green Bay against Chicago. Everybody's got Green Bay winning. I think it's mainly because they're coming off of a loss, and Chicago is just... They look good at one point, but they're just falling downhill. They don't have much to go around on the offensive side. Green Bay, on the other hand, kept on fighting near the end of the game. They lost in overtime after being down. They got fighting them in Chicago. Chicago's not a good team compared to Green Bay. We got Seattle Seahawks against the Philadelphia Eagles Monday night. Everybody's got Seattle.
Hell yes.
That's a terrible, terrible Monday Night Football game. I'm upset.
Lastly, we got the Browns versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Everybody's got the Browns, including Keith, Tyler, Matt, Brian. Everybody that is from Cleveland has the Browns here.
Yeah, Jacksonville, they're rough.
I
They're
lo-
very rough right now.
I liked on the radio, someone called Garner Minshew Baker Mayfield light. Yeah, I heard that on the way to work the other day. I thought that was pretty funny.
So before we end up going to this next break, from a just NFL ranking standpoint, I'm curious as to what you guys think about this one individual on Twitter. His name's Brady_216. He had his Week 11 power rankings. He's got Steelers number 1, Kansas City, New Orleans, Los Angeles Rams, Indianapolis Colts, Seattle Seahawks, Buffalo Bills, Green Bay Packers, the Titans, the Raiders, the Cardinals, the Buccaneers, the Dolphins, and then the Browns at 14.
I see. I knew. I'm like, okay, all right, they deserve that. I felt like we're better than maybe 2 or 3 of those teams, and why are we not? Like, okay, like I'm going to talk about what Brian talked about. The Cleveland Browns have the exact same record as Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. Yeah, that's the NFC, and yeah, we're the AFC. But give us some damn credit for once, or at least tie your number 5 and 6 picks. You know, look at your numbers.
ESPN said that we're the top 4 right now. We're in the top 4 bracket.
Well, then the 4-letter network says that, but Brady underscored 216.
He's also a Dolphins fan, so if anything, even if he had his favoritism in above the Browns, it's only one spot up. It's nothing.
The Browns are down in that range in most power rankings I've been seeing, anyways, and I think that's because since the last 3 weeks have been really, really sloppy, and it's just not been fun football to watch. Really, they haven't been exciting, and they don't seem like that powerhouse. Like, it just seems like they're playing bedwetter football. I think once they get a few more games in, and we can see if the offense really, really turns around in the passing game, and they keep playing good defense. I think then you'll start to see them go up in the power rankings compared to the other 7 and 3 teams.
And obviously, like we mentioned too, you're going to be heading out of here, going to work shortly here.
Yes, I am.
Question, that's going to be it for the Browns talk, but a question that Riggs and I will get to later on. Do you believe that Calvin Johnson deserves to be in the Hall of Fame?
Absolutely. He's a 3-time All-Pro.
Yes.
A 3-time All-Pro.
If I want to be completely honest, I feel like Megatron, I'm going to use that nickname. I feel like he was Odell Beckham before he was Odell Beckham.
Yeah.
Period.
Oh, no, he was
Period.
He was huge. He was just so big. That's why he was
just
Megatron.
Yeah, them hands.
Giant.
Like, it's right. Like, what Madden was he on the front cover of? What was it?
11, I think.
Yeah, I think it was Madden 11. Madden 12 was...
Hillis.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. You
I
got
believe.
right off the rip.
Which one was Madden 10? Or Madden... It was Madden 2005, right?
9 was Rodgers.
No, 2005 was
That
Ray
was
Lewis. That was way back in the day.
Okay.
Yeah, because 10,
Oh,
I remember it was the Cardinals and the Steelers on the
That
front
was
cover.
08.
That was
8.
Larry
That's 08.
Fitzgerald and Troy Polamalu.
Or 09. That was 09.
No, I think that was 08.
Or 08, yeah.
That's crazy, though, how much like the cover athletes have changed over time. Because Calvin Johnson should and could be playing in the NFL still. That's the thing.
His retirement shocked me.
Yeah, that came out of nowhere.
I thought he had at least another 3 in him.
And I mean, right now, if we look at what his age is, out of curiosity, compared to anybody else in the NFL, what are you going to say, though?
I'm going to let you finish that on Calvin Johnson.
So he's
It's
35.
thing.
I mean, wide receivers, anybody in football, I
Yeah,
think,
but he retired, what, 2-3 years ago?
5 years ago, 2015, actually.
Wow.
Damn.
It's been 5 years.
Is he in shape still?
Yeah, I mean, I look at like Calvin Johnson, like Terrell Owens. He was always around. He retired at like late 30s, early 40s. You could play football for a while if you're not getting hit. Mm-hmm. But Calvin Johnson was that first guy to remember that I have a life outside of football and concussions suck. Mm-hmm. So I think that might have a huge factor. But when we get back, we'll obviously be talking Browns. Parker, is there anything you want to say about the Browns before you end up heading out? That
I hate to say this to you, Browns fans. Clay Matthews is not getting in the Hall of Fame this year.
I feel like you want to say something to that.
Wow.
Sorry to just drop that like that on you and dip out, but yeah, he's not getting in this year.
Why not?
I don't know if he ever will. I mean, he's been on the ballot how many times? Never even gets looked at. I don't know. He's a semifinalist right now, so we'll see.
I feel like he was a semifinalist last year.
That's what I'm
too.
saying. He's been a semifinalist.
Yeah, because I remember when we played. I think it was our Monday night game. We played against the Rams. Because his junior was out there playing for the Rams, and they brought out the whole family during like a halftime bit.
Do you think they're waiting for Clay Matthews Jr. to retire and maybe put him in on the same day?
Like the father-son duo kind
Yeah,
of thing.
they're just waiting for Clay Matthews to retire, and then they'll put him in at the same time, 5 years after Clay Matthews gets in.
But that's more for the story instead of when he
Yeah,
actually
there's
belongs.
cameras
though.
involved. There's a story.
Exactly.
But on that note, Parker, before you go, what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna manscape and eat a piece of pizza.
Okay, take us to break then.
If you're
Bored in the house and I'm in the house bored. Bored in the house and I'm in the house bored.
why not play with your balls? Our sponsor today, Manscaped, is here to make sure your balls are smooth while you or your partner are playing with them. Manscaped promotes clean hygiene when it comes to shaving your balls thanks to their Lawnmower 3.0. So a little side note, have you ever cut your balls while shaving them? I have, and that is painful. I would not ever do that again, and I would never shave my balls if it wasn't for Manscaped, because once I started using Manscaped, I no longer had to worry about the bleeding anymore. Also, for any new subscribers, you end up getting replacement blades refilled for your Lawnmower 3.0 trimmer delivered to your door every 3 months, making sure your trimmer always stays fresh and clean. And for a limited time, subscribers get not only 1, but 2 free gifts: the Shed Travel Bag, which is a $39 value, and the high-patented, high-performance, anti-chafing Manscaped Boxer Briefs. This is the perfect package for your perfect package. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code SPORTSWITHAZ at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at Manscaped, and use the code SPORTS. Make playing with your balls the best part of your day. Thanks, Manscaped.
That cures the hiccups. Welcome back to the We Like Sports podcast. That's what cures the hiccups.
With myself, Riggs, the producer, Brian, Peyton Vince, professional Parker Pierce had to go to a professional job today. So
It'd be nice if he cleaned up after himself. Golly.
So we're gonna talk a little bit of basketball, National Basketball Association.
That's what that meant. Okay.
The logo, Mr. Jerry West himself. So
I thought that was Michael Jordan.
Are you serious? Oh. Should the Cavaliers have Tristan Thompson's jersey? Should they retire Tristan Thompson's jersey? Number 13, double T, T-top. Mr. No Days Off. Mr. cheats on his girlfriend in the biggest city in the world when we're right in the middle of a championship run. Tristan Thompson, everybody. How do you feel about that?
How many more nicknames are you going to come up with Tristan
Well,
Thompson?
no, those are true. Yeah, Mr. No Days Off, T-top, right.
Mr. I cheat on my girlfriend.
Well, no, that last part, no, that's just me being rude.
Mr. I slept with Carmen Electra, Dennis Rodman, Mr. We were talking about that on Sunday. Brian could even let you know because I did a shout out to you with Carmen Electra and Dennis Rodman when we were talking about them.
Oh, thank you. But
anyways, with the Tristan Thompson, if that subject with his jersey being retired, I'd say if Zydrunas Ilgauskas' jersey is retired, I'm gonna say that at the same time Tristan Thompson had a huge impact. I mean, up until last year or 2 years ago, he didn't miss a game. He played 450-something straight games in a row.
Earned his game check.
Absolutely. And that's why I'd retire his jersey, because he didn't leave and come back and leave and come back. This was his choice. This was his motive. He got his 4 years. He got his big contract. He got his name in Cleveland. He didn't make a big deal out of it. He didn't pull a LeBron, pretty much. If I had to retire the two of their jerseys, I'd pick Tristan Thompson's over LeBron's. But with that being said, I'm retiring Tristan Thompson's jersey.
Over hard work, yeah, retire Tristan's jersey. Over popularity and you just want buzz for the city for the night, of course LeBron James' jersey. And sad to say, LeBron's jersey will be retired before Tristan Thompson's. And yeah, I know it sucks to say that, but I agree with you 100% on that. He was here. He didn't leave and come back. So,
and
yeah.
He accepted whatever role he was given to. And when Timothy Mozgov was here, he accepted a bench role. He pretty much accepted being the sixth man coming off the bench, or not even being the sixth man. I think he was later on in the options, but he was able to accept his role. And when he was playing big time minutes, he was making big time plays pretty much. That's the key that you need in any type of player, any type of Hall of Famer. But changing subjects here, with the Cavs losing Tristan Thompson, they pretty much have only one player that I could name off the top of my head from the 2016 team, and that's Kevin Love. Mm-hmm. And Matthew Dellavedova, but that's 2 out of 15. At this point, would you end up trading Kevin Love?
Yeah.
And who would you want in return?
I would have to search the market for that, but why not? I would trade Kevin Love, and that's out of no disrespect. It's out of a business. It's like, look, man, I'm not going to put stress and pressure on you when he clearly said about a year ago, like, look, I'm not here to rebuild. He wants to win now. Me and him are the same age, but when you're getting up there in basketball age, you don't have time to deal with your 20-year-olds, your 21-year-olds out of college. You're already on a certain level.
They're only 3 years younger than me, man. What are you trying to say?
But, okay, and I'm saying, like, I feel like, basketball 23 is different than, like, 23 in these neighborhoods. And your average, 23 as a pro athlete versus 23-year-old as a civilian. I feel like those are...
I'm 24th, right? If you're going with that example.
But still, like, I feel like as an athlete, you age like a dog. You add years because all the traveling... The hard work you put in, all the working out you do, the time away from family. Like some of those 24, 25-year-old athletes, I guarantee behind the scenes, they walk around like they're Shaquille O'Neal around their house because they're banged up and they're hurt from practices. But I would definitely trade Kevin Love. And if he wants to come back, I'll welcome him back with open arms. But you better be damn sure if he wants his jersey retired, it's happening. But yeah, Kevin Love, I would just trade him for the best. If you love something, let it go. If it comes back to you, it's meant to be. But Kevin Love, bro, love you to death, but I will let him go.
So, with the way that the Cavs pretty much lost their duo of Kevin Love and Tristan Thompson, they're two big men overall. Or, I mean, you could even say right now their only duo is Delly and Kevin Love. But Kevin Love doesn't even dunk, really. He's a perimeter shooter. Mm-hmm. But with duos in the NBA, and you got LeBron and you got Anthony Davis, which duo in the NBA do you think is coming to the closest to ability, team, whatever, of the duo of Anthony Davis and LeBron? What duo out there in the NBA? I saw a couple of these on these 4-letter networks. They had Luka Doncic and Kristaps Porzingis as their duo, and I'm trying to remember one other one. But I'm trying to think of duos now, and I'd have to say that the Suns duo of Chris Paul and Devin Booker, I think that could be a really good duo just because you have your shooters. But that's about, I'm not, without a doubt, I'm trying to think of NBA duos at the same time. Because, I mean, you have plenty out there. It's just trying to figure out which one could actually keep up with Anthony Davis and LeBron.
Well, I feel like hopefully on a healthy full year, I would like to see the duo of Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant on a healthy full year, clear-minded, full healthy year from both of those guys. Definitely you, Kyrie Irving.
And the thing is too with that duo though is it seems that there's just going to be too much drama with the fact that you have Kevin Durant that, I mean, look what's happening with the James Harden news. He said that he wants to go to Brooklyn. And now if he goes to Brooklyn, Kyrie Irving wants to leave Brooklyn because James Harden's there and he's a guard and this and that. And it's so much drama that I don't think that duo is going to last long. That's the issue.
And that's the thing. This is why I barely pay attention to the National Basketball League. It's just a bunch of grown men that make money. And it's just all the drama. The prima donna athletes of the African American men in the National Basketball Association pisses me off. Deal with it. You want to come to my team? Guess what? Play a game of horse over it. Something. And I'm also not trying to say fight me over it, but I'm saying in a competition, professional level. You want to come here? Boom. Or guess what? Screw you. Guess what? You don't want me on your team? Now I'm going to try everything I can to play against you and to beat you. But everyone wants to they want to ring chase nowadays. And that's why I have no respect for the National Basketball League.
And I mean, you look at guys too, we were even saying, what did you say?
I said National Basketball League.
But when we were talking about the show from this past Sunday, we were talking about the NBA change of pretty much everything, the landscape changing with these free agent signings. We got our opinions. Obviously, you weren't there. You got to work. Things happen. But we were talking about Gordon Hayward signing a 4-year deal with the Charlotte Hornets. What are your thoughts on that?
If Gordon Hayward, that's okay. They signed the ball kid, the Hornets. That shows me that, look, hey, we're going to try our damnedest to build a good team. We got a nice young draft pick. We got a nice little name coming here. Our owner gives a damn. Kudos to them for trying.
And then you also have Dwight Howard tweeting out that he's staying in LA, deleting the tweet, and then saying he's signing with the 76ers, backing up Joel Embiid. Or even we were saying, what if you have a 5-man lineup that's pretty big with Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid at power forward, Dwight Howard at center, you got Tobias Harris at small forward, and you only need one more guard, and I'm sure you could find someone that would fill that big man lineup.
I feel like, this is what I've heard too. I heard that right when the Lakers won a championship, of course it was Shaquille O'Neal. I guess he said something like, some of you guys barely made 10 points this whole series, and you're walking around here being a world champion. Basically, yeah, you're world champ, but you really didn't deserve. And I guess that was a knock at Dwight Howard on that situation.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and Shaq and Dwight have always had their beef with one another. But maybe Dwight Howard finally winning this championship as a big man, maybe he has a little bit more confidence where he's like, you know what? I can go help out Philly.
Because I won my ring, I could do whatever I want
exactly.
now, pretty much. Then lastly, you have John Wall finding out that Washington has the mindset that Bradley Beal is their guy and they're building around him. John Wall figured that out, and now he wants out of Washington once he heard that.
Hey, I mean, why stay in a situation where you know you're not wanted? Know yourself, know your worth. Wall, you've been balling in the city of Washington for so long. You deserve better. You honestly deserve a good team built around you, dude. To be truly honest, when the Cleveland Cavaliers, when we would come by and we would play against the Washington Wizards, I would feel so bad the fact of just seeing LeBron and Kyrie Irving just shoot the lights out over you guys, and you really didn't deserve that. But it's competition, it's professionalism. You deserve to be somewhere where you're appreciated and wanted.
I guess that's a good note to pretty much go back into. I know that we have an NFL comment. We're going to get to that really quick, too, because it's actually from a Steelers fan. And he ended up saying the point, Jesse Knack, saying that the Steelers are getting wins we wouldn't have before. They have a strong wide receiver core. Their defense is the best it's been since Greg Lloyd and Rod Woodson days, saying that the steel curtain is back. I mean, if that's the case and you end up finding another quarterback too, I think that's also an issue, is that you don't really have a quarterback after Ben Roethlisberger. Also, he said, what's up?
I see that, yes. I'm like debating if I should just get into my conspiracy, but...
I mean...
The Cavs, we have JaVale McGee.
Yeah, you didn't see that?
Wow.
That was traded from the Wizards because they're... No, not the Wizards.
Like
Why did I say the Wizards? The Lakers.
That sounds like an April Fool's prank.
But they got Marc Gasol that was going to go overseas to play basketball. So we
did talk about that.
So he ended up going to play with the Lakers this upcoming year. I want to get your thoughts on this, and then we might end up taking a break and then going into the NFL, and then you could get into your Steelers conspiracy. But with the wide receiver duos, with the free agents that are out there right now, with the Cleveland Cavaliers obviously not having a ton of money, but I think you might end up getting a surprise free agent that you didn't really expect that hasn't been sent. The Cavs end up scooping up on. Also, I just found out that Hassan Whiteside is signing a 1-year deal with the Sacramento Kings.
Good for him.
But do you think that there's any free agent out there that might end up being that surprise signing for the Cavs that end up making them more successful?
Not this year. No. I don't see that happening this year at all.
And I'm trying to find the NBA free agents of 2020. All right, so what I could see right now, this would be great, but it's not going to happen. Anthony Davis is still a free agent with the Lakers, but that's not going to happen unless he's getting paid handsomely. And it looks like all the other good free agents are already scooped up and they found their team. You got Rajon Rondo that ended up signing with the Hawks. You got Shabazz Napier, maybe, but that's not a surprise. You don't really have a big name person out there anymore in free agency now. Mm-hmm. You could get back Kyle Korver. I don't think that's a good idea. Reggie Jackson, I'd rather pass. All these guys, it sucks because spending never goes as planned. Because you could end up getting CJ Miles back again. That would be fun, right?
Wow, CJ Miles.
But yeah, you don't have these big name free agents, and hopefully the Cavs end up building this core and maybe get that one key piece because they're able to afford that star when they become a free agent, like a LeBron, who's becoming a free agent within the next year or so. If you can get another Kemba Walker or whoever that's out there that's a free agent, you got to end up spending your money, and that's the thing, is that the Cavs, they could be one player away from coming back and being contenders. Look at the Miami Heat.
True, anything can happen, but I don't know, maybe I'm just so blah. It's always these big market bastard cities that always get their way.
I guess on that note, Is there anything that you want to tidy up on the Cavs, or do you want to go into the NFL and talk about your Steelers conspiracy theory going into break? Then we'll go into the Browns talk.
Cavaliers re-sign the man down under, Matthew Dellavedova, for 1 year. Every time I hear about Matthew Dellavedova, the hot girls love him. Seriously, they really do. So Matthew Deli Trays, back at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. Welcome back to the land, and God bless you.
I swear to God, with you and like the hot girls love him, it seems
Oh,
like
yeah, because the Lindor. Yeah, hot girls do love Lindor and Deli.
like that is your go-to all the time. But on that note, changing things up, going into the Steelers talk that you've been wanting to, what is your conspiracy theory about the Steelers?
This is a positive conspiracy theory, and I have people on my friends list that are Steelers fans, and this is why I think you guys are balling out the way you are. I feel like your quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger, this is his final season. Think about this. Your quarterback, your chief, your boss, the man, the cream of the cream, the cream of the crop, tells
Cream
you,
of the cream.
hey boys, I don't have much longer left in me. Look at Big Ben's history with his injuries. He probably's like, dude, I don't want to keep doing this shit much longer. Give me one good year out of everybody from 3 teams, offense, defense, special teams, and I'm going to give you my best too. And I promise you, I think that's why Pittsburgh is balling the way that they are balling, because they respect Big Ben. They love Big Ben. They want Big Ben to reach the heights of your Terry Bradshaw, of your Tom Brady, of your Aaron Rodgers, of your elite to elite quarterbacks. And Big Ben is an elite quarterback. And I'm not bashing Pittsburgh on this conspiracy. It's just something that I had to deeply think about. And my friend Justin Castro out there gave me a little bit more insight on this. But why else would a team ball this hard in 1 year with a veteran quarterback? Big Ben has to. Yeah, Jesse, I'm talking to you, Jesse Kanak. Big Ben is retiring after this season, I feel like. So, Pittsburgh fans, enjoy him while you can. Seriously. And good luck. That's my conspiracy. I swear to God, I think he's retiring.
I think what would be the solution if the Steelers end up winning the Super Bowl, they're going to end up... Big Ben's going to play another year. No NFL player that plays football, once they win the Super Bowl, it's very hard for them to retire, because that's like winning... I don't even know. It's like that casino reference we were talking about earlier. It's like hitting it and hitting it and hitting it and hitting big and having a huge profit. You're going to be dumb and you're going to keep on spending. You're going to limit that time and go back because you could do it again. But if that is the case, if Ben Roethlisberger does retire, I think what you're going to see, 100%, no doubt about it, they will be 19-0. They will not lose, and they will end up having a record story, a record book. They know that they're going to end Ben Roethlisberger's career on a high note, if that is the case.
He wants that 7 before he leaves and knows that he has a chance right now, Jesse, Mr. Pittsburgh fan himself.
Why are you so mean to Jesse?
I mean, I'm not mean to him. You know, he's a cool dude. It's just Steelers thing.
Yeah, what about it?
You know, it's Steelers thing, how we kind of treat you. It's like, oh, he's Peyton, but he's a Steelers fan.
The thing is that the Steelers, when you end up having guys that you didn't have Le'Veon Bell on this team, and Ben Roethlisberger got gypped with his time with Le'Veon Bell, and they ended up having James Conner, and James Conner ended up being a good filler, and he filled that role, and he succeeded. Juju Smith-Schuster was the following Antonio Brown. That's something else that ended up happening. You have guys now with their wide receiver core. You have Juju Smith-Schuster. You have Deontay Johnson. You have James Washington. And you got Chase Claypool. That's like their 4th wide receiver, which is comparable to Rashard Higgins for the Browns. And he's had 10 touchdowns as a rookie. Ben Roethlisberger, even though he's dealing with a rookie, is trying to make him look the best of his ability because he's targeting him and airing out the ball downfield. I think it's time to go to a break. On that note, we got about 30 more minutes left on the We Like Sports podcast. Don't go anywhere. Make sure you end up subscribing on YouTube. Make sure you like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Like, share, comment, have fun. Doesn't matter. Also tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., Thanksgiving morning. What plans do you have? Listen to our podcast on the way out the door. 9 a.m. It'll be uploaded on Apple, Google, Spotify, Stitcher, and Anchor. Listen to the show. Watch the show. Have fun.
And Manscaped, shave your balls. Promo code sports with AZ. We'll be right back on the We Like Sports podcast.
Welcome back to the We Like Sports podcast with LeConte Riggs. That's your first and last name. Peyton Vince, Brian Fluke, Parker Pierce is gone. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. We hope you guys have a great one watching football with your family. We don't to be
Watching
honest,
us, screw football.
Exactly. Or just even being with your family tomorrow, having a good time.
And watching us.
And everyone's positive. Everyone is just safe. Be safe.
Yeah, don't be an idiot and catch COVID.
Right. Okay, so we're going to get into some NFL news. The Cleveland Browns beat the Philadelphia Eagles.
You almost said Phillies, but okay.
Yep, they beat the Philadelphia Eagles. I was scared for Baker Mayfield because I thought Fletcher Cox was just going to grab him and shake him up like a rag doll, like he did to Baker in his rookie season. But Browns prevail.
I mean, the game, defensively, it was a really good game. It was a very good week for the Browns' defense in fantasy as well. I think the best news is just the fact that they did survive without Myles Garrett. Now you're losing Denzel Ward, and now you're losing Sione Takitaki, and you lost Myles Garrett again for Jacksonville. You also had the Browns facility shut down again. With all this happening, I guess this goes back to the earlier comments about if the get in the ring topic with the Browns and the Jaguars and if you should worry. I think you should at this point, because if the Browns end up losing somebody else that's a starter, and that's why they shut down the facility, or two more starters, if you lose Baker Mayfield, it's going to be a tough game.
Yeah, keep that out your mouth. I'm actually impressed with this Browns victory over the Eagles because you had the pick six from Taki. Perfect. And then I love in football teams when there's an interception. I don't care if you run into the house. As long as you intercept the ball right in the middle of the 2-minute warning or before the 2-minute warning or after the 2-minute warning. If that ball is intercepted and you put the exclamation point on that game, that just drives my adrenaline through the effing roof. And seeing Denzel Ward do that, and I guess he's going to be out for a week or some change with a calf injury. You want to know what, man? Rest up, heal up, stay safe. You played your ass off on Sunday, dude, and that exclamation point, you were technically the MVP of that game.
Sione Takitaki was.
In my opinion, Denzel Ward. I just love interceptions to end the game. Like it's a final punch in the mouth.
That's fair. I mean, that's a good analogy. That's kind of like the baseball analogy I have, like with like the ending of the game. Seems similar, but on that note, with the Browns in contention for a playoff spot, they're the 6th seed, and I think the Raiders are at 7. What's it feel like as a Browns fan to be at Week 12, going into Week 12, and the Browns have a playoff spot as of right now?
To me, honestly, I don't even think about it. I truly don't, because I don't want it to drive myself crazy. I just want these boys to play damn good football, trust your coaching staff, be healthy, stay in shape, stay out of damn trouble, and give this city a winning damn football season like it freaking deserves. Period. Point blank. No playing around. So I like the fact that we're talked about, but when we get into the meat and potatoes of it even more, then you'll start to see my excitement. But for right now, I kind of got to idle a little bit.
And I guess even going further, if you're looking at the Browns' record right now, 7-3, probably the best record they're going to have since 2007. They should at least. If they end up going into the playoffs, how far do you think the Browns can go if they do go to the playoffs?
In my honest to God opinion, if you lose in the first, I don't care what any Browns fan is about to say about this. Oh no, we got to win it all. Win it all, whatever. If we lose in a wild card game or we lose in a divisional game, I don't care. At least we made it to the damn dance. I promise you that. I will be proud of my football team no matter what. No matter what. We made it to the damn dance when people always counted us out, talk shit, belittle, and front runners and fair weather bitches in this town root for a winner. when they know who they really should be rooting for. I don't care. As long as you make it there, I'm proud of you regardless, sweetheart. Whew.
Are you mad at me?
No, I'm not mad. That's just how I feel. Like,
Are you mad because I'm a Steelers fan?
No,
I think he's mad.
I'm not mad. That's why I pointed that way. But unless on camera, it went that way. But
Man, like, I was just, like, listening to that, and you're talking about these, like, I get it, and I get the annoyance of a fair weather fan, but also at the same time, you could say that you've known me for 4 years, and I haven't changed teams, even though the Browns have became good.
Right, yeah.
But that's not
respect.
speaking for everybody.
Right, yeah, that's respect. Right, that's why I'm not like, oh.
That's like people in Cleveland when they ended up rooting for Golden State when Golden State was back-to-back with the Cavs for how many years in a row.
Right.
People didn't want to believe in the Cavs, just like people don't want to believe in the Browns. People are going to end up going with the front-runner contenders, and that's just the way sports is. It sucks. I'm sorry to say it, but that's what happens all the time. You always pick the winners.
I work with this young dude, and he told me, he's like, I don't like Cleveland sports. Even how all of our sports teams draft, it pisses me off. And I'm just like, wow, dude. I'm like, it just blows my mind. Like know yourself. Like, it just, I don't know, because I feel like those people in those states, your New Englands and your big market cities, they don't give a damn about you. That's their team you're rooting for.
Yeah.
They drink that local water. No point, you know.
But, like, the thing is with... I just stepped on something.
No, you didn't. Hope it's not my cat.
I don't know. It was the table. But what the problem is just the Fairweather fans overall. Also, at the same time, if you're a Browns fan, be happy that you're a Browns fan, because these kids that are watching sports now, imagine if you talk to a senior in high school right now that's at the age of 17 or 18, he's not going to be a Browns fan 9 out of 10 times, because when was the last time the Browns were actually good? He's 18, and it's 2020. He was born in 2002. That 2007 season, he was 5 years old, or she, whoever. That's why you don't have too many Browns fans and people within, not necessarily my age bracket, but the lower age bracket, like your 20 to like 16 age bracket.
He's about your 20 to 16 age bracket.
You're looking at teams like New England because they're always around. You're looking at the Steelers.
Yeah,
you're looking at the Eagles.
He's a Brady fan, yeah.
It just happens all the time. Same thing with like basketball and with baseball too. You know how many kids aren't actually Indians fans because they only saw one playoff run that was actually worthwhile, that being the World Series. It's just always something, and Fairweather fans you'll never end up getting around. But going into the next NFL topic.
Can we talk about this NFL topic? And it's kind of going to put our producer not on blast, but it's a catch-up story. So,
that's the one I was going into.
So my best friend, Brian Fluke, he loves ketchup. It's like a lake of it all the time. So the quarterback of
ketchup.
the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs, the defending world champs, Pat Mahomes puts ketchup on his turkey.
No, we do not do that in this house.
He's shaking his head. Our producer, Brian Fluke, is shaking his head.
Why do you put ketchup on turkey?
Hot sauce.
Hot sauce, yes. From my aspect, yes.
No.
But ketchup on turkey, no. Ketchup don't even touch none of my Thanksgiving food.
2 things. Bless you. That's not one of them. Do you have your food touching when you eat?
Yeah.
And do you what's the weirdest thing you've put ketchup on? No kinky weird stuff, just like ketchup in general, like food.
Hash browns,
That's
tater
it?
tots. That's about it. Probably the stuff you're supposed to put ketchup on. That was a Keith comment. I felt like.
Yeah. When I was down south, I browned hamburger. Was one mixed spaghetti. And I made the noodles. I made that, and I was like, I'm just going to make a quick sauce on there and like heat it up really fast so everything goes together. And I realized I didn't have tomato sauce, but I had ketchup. So I poured ketchup on it, and I kind of threw spices in it, and I made it taste good.
Weirdest thing I put ketchup on has to be like, I think I tried it with mac and cheese one time, and that's it. It's not that bad. But that, like, I'm like you, like, that's pretty weird. Like, Pizza and ranch, I don't even do that often. And people have that as like a second amendment, it seems.
Remember when my niece used to do it on cereal?
His niece ketchup on pancakes. No, was it pancakes?
It was cereal, pancakes, and then she was something else that was really freaking weird.
Ketchup on cereal?
But ketchup on...
that was Noelle, not Aubrey.
Right,
Noelle.
of course. But ketchup on pancakes? No, Pat. If it wins you Super Bowl rings, do it all day. But nah, some people's palates are just not yours, Mr. Mahomes.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm's there with ketchup on his turkey.
Okay. You want to hit the next subject?
I bet you put barbecue sauce on it, though.
Chicken nuggets.
Myles Garrett's out with
Pretty much COVID-19.
pretty much with COVID, and he's out against Jacksonville, and it sucks, honestly. And next man up on the Browns, and not to piggyback off what he was saying or I was talking about and get in the ring earlier. Show up to play, show up healthy, and show up to win. I don't want our defense to be codependent on your Myles Garrett's, on your Denzel Wards, on your Takis. I want an arsenal and a weapon and a plethora of athletes out there. Like, okay, you're afraid of him, you're afraid of him, you're afraid of him, and him. So which one do you want? I want to keep people out there guessing. So Myles Garrett being out, I'm not nervous. At least he's not out the whole year. So let's just take it one game at a time, guys.
I think the thing is that's being overlooked is the fact that the Browns' defense was so subpar early on this year that the last week when you didn't have Myles Garrett, you had a good defense and you had a good matchup against the Eagles. If you end up doing that again against the Jaguars, you're going to piece it all together, add that all together, and then you end up having Myles Garrett added to the mix and Sione Takitaki and Denzel Ward. If they're clicking now when they're not really set up for success, that's good news if you're a Browns fan, because that's right at the right time. You're getting healthy at the right time.
I like that.
There's also one other thing, too, that's happening on Sunday with the Browns-Jaguars game. Mike Glennon's starting for the Jaguars after Jake Luton was starting after Gardner Minshew was benched. But it was kind of like the circle of life that they came up with. Mark Long, he's an AP guy. He says that the craziest part is that Mike Glennon got benched in 2017 for Chicago's Mitchell Trubisky. Mitchell Trubisky got benched this year for Nick Foles. Nick Foles got benched last year for Gardner Minshew. Minshew got replaced by Luton, and Luton's getting replaced by Mike Glennon. So it literally is the circle of the NFL.
Right.
And then going back to the Justin Herbert comments that we were talking about earlier, he's on pace to be the best rookie QB in NFL history. He's on pace for 397 completions, which should be the first all time. 4,498 pass yards, first of all time, and 37 passing TDs, which would be first of all time. Somebody also tweeted saying that Oregon had him throwing bubble screens at 10:30 p.m. Do you believe, out of this rookie class for the NFL, who's the better quarterback right now with what you've seen? Is it Justin Herbert or is it Tua Tagovailoa? Because they're both kind of that mid-season start that they came through, and both are looking really good.
I will have to go with Tua. I like his style. I do like his style. I just don't like the team that Tua's on. I can really care less about the Miami Dolphins. I like Tua's style. Isn't he a lefty quarterback too as well? He's a lefty quarterback, and they say lefties do everything ass backwards.
Backwards?
Yep. So a lefty quarterback, you've had good lefty quarterbacks like your Michael Vicks, just to name a few.
I think that was the last lefty quarterbacks that were out there. Mm-hmm. It was Michael Vick.
Oh, Tim Tebow was a lefty quarterback also.
Byron Leftwich, I think, was too.
It's in his name. So, I got him. So
damn, that's where Beavers live.
So I don't know, I'm liking some Tua. Give him some more weapons down there in Miami, see what he can do, and I don't know, man. I know the fact Tua, to me, all quarterbacks look lanky, and they look like they don't see the gym as much. Tua looks like he goes to the gym.
Yeah, he kind of has that the fit look that a quarterback should. But with what I do have to say is that the NFL's shaping up to be well with these rookie quarterbacks. You got Kyler Murray, you got Lamar Jackson, you got Kyler Murray, you got Tua Tagovailoa, you got Jordan Love that's going to be the quarterback of the Packers if not find another place. You got all these rookie quarterbacks that are becoming successful over time. And I actually lied. Byron Leftwich is a righty. He's an opposite, I guess. But you have all these quarterbacks that are coming out over and over again in all these drafts. Most of them are finding success. That's the good news, is that they end up getting their start. And it's always going to be the merry-go-round of, or the carousel, I should say, of the quarterbacks, because if somebody's better than you, they're going to find that person that's better than you, especially if you're subpar.
No, yeah, you're exactly. It's a competition. You know, it really, it's a competition and it's a business. And especially as a rookie quarterback, like, I wouldn't get comfortable so quick in these situations.
Absolutely. Like, I completely agree with that, but like I said, next man up, that could always happen. Once again, though, the last topic of the day, we got about 9 more minutes left before we end up going. Thanks to our sponsors, Manscaped.
Shave your
talk
balls.
about them. Yeah, make sure you shave your balls, especially for Thanksgiving. Nobody wants to have hairy balls, you know?
No, not at the table.
Which also happens to be the name of my uncle, but... Or is that actually LeVar's uncle, Hairy Balls? Anyway, shout out to Cisco the Barber. We got our haircuts last week by Cisco the Barber. That's 440-320-2691. Give him a call, give him a text, get your haircut. Pay the man. He's good. What will he do again? He'll line you up.
He'll line you up
real good.
Real good. He's
and
good
I'm gonna
with that
stand
straight
up.
razor. I'm sorry, like he's just that good. The man knows what he's doing. Shout out to Cafe Delight.
Delight Cafe CBD.
Right. Shout out to KM Voice.
Not that hard, guys.
I mean, I'm sorry. Shout out to KM Voice. Shout out to Coach. Shout out to Hooligans Gym. Shout out to Onyx. Shout out to everybody that likes. Just go.
Just go. Anyways, make sure to subscribe when you're watching this on YouTube. Leave a like. Tell your friends. Share away. Have fun with it. Let them know, hey, did we make you laugh? Share it. Did we make you knowledgeable with sports? Share it. Tell your friends. Because apparently we turned into Peyton Hillis midway through the sentence.
Right, it's contagious.
But anyways, make sure you tell people. Get on the bandwagon early on, because you never know where we might end up going. Maybe we will go 19-0 as a team from Cleveland, and it doesn't have to be the Browns. Maybe we're on a journey that nobody knows where it's going to go except for forward. Anyways, enough about that. Make sure to listen to us on Apple, Google, Spotify, Stitcher, and Anchor. But on that note, that's 9 a.m. tomorrow on the way to Thanksgiving. Give us a listen. Black Friday. We got Phil Mickelson and Charles Barkley golfing again versus Peyton Manning and Steph Curry. Before it was Peyton Manning and Tom Brady.
Right, that's why I'm like, wait, isn't this like a rematch from like last year or so like that?
It was actually last May.
Last May?
Because Mickelson and Peyton were on a team together. So instead they put a subpar golfer with Phil Mickelson being Charles Barkley, and then Steph Curry, who knows if he's good at golf. He does do good from what he's seen, yeah.
Yeah. He does good from what he sees. He definitely looks like, seeing Steph Curry in the golfing attire, looks like that could have been his career choice if the man didn't know how to dribble a basketball or shoot one, which I kind of wish it didn't. But I want to see. I would like to see more celebrities and some golfing shindigs like this. I personally myself don't like golf. I think it's boring. But I'm not going to bash you or anyone out there that likes it, loves it, or enjoy it. But if they jazz it up and do something special like this every once in a while, then, yeah, you got my Nielsen ratings for that.
That's the thing, too, is that I'm not a big golf fan either, but this past Sunday I went to Top Golf, golfed for the first time since, like, a driving range as a kid. My biggest concern was throwing the damn club.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. Instead, my first swing, I missed. I completely whiffed because I have a baseball swing. But I worked on it. I got better throughout the night. But with the way that golf turned about in that May Classic with Phil Mickelson and Peyton Manning and Tom Brady and Tiger Woods, was just the trash talking. Like, it was your first taste of sports back in May after everything went to crap in the U.S. and any country whatsoever. So if you're bringing back golf and you're doing these 4-person like doubles matchups, it could be really good if you do it the right way. And the first time in May, they did it really well. So if they keep it up, especially since Charles Barkley's a talker.
He really is.
Steph Curry is too, as far as you know. It's just going to be interesting because you have 2 basketball players and you have a golfer and a football player. The 2 basketball players could talk trash, but like Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. But Peyton Manning and Phil Mickelson, it's like 2 different career paths. It's like, it's not even comparable. I can't even think of anything like that, but you don't have a comparison.
Trying to figure out how to compare like a pro and a con, but there really isn't.
But that's going to be interesting just because you have 2 basketball players that are playing golf, and I'm going to end up trying to watch it in some manner. I just found out that I could DVR on my TV, which is super freaking cool, but 2020, you know? But before we end up going, what is usually, we talked about Thanksgiving, what is your Black Friday tradition if you have one? Are you crazy and do you go shopping or do you go Cyber Monday shopping or?
My Black Friday tradition, I seriously sit at home, I eat Thanksgiving food, and I watch The Simpsons.
On Black Friday?
Yeah.
I said on Thanksgiving again, but you said Thanksgiving food. The Simpsons?
Yeah.
What about you, Brian?
I mean, I'll go out for like certain things early in the morning, and that's it. But normally, I sit my fat ass at home and eat food, the leftovers, and either Simpsons or, I've been really getting back in American Dad, so
Good stuff. I want to say with Black Friday, last year, shocker, I had to work. Years before, I think I went 2 years in a row for Black Friday shopping. It sucks. It's cool. It's cool to experience, but like it's not fun. It's not a good time. It's just super crowded, and everybody's trying to get to this piece of notebook paper, and it's all the same notebook piece of paper. Doesn't matter, and it's just chaotic. And I'm very worried in a world standpoint that people are going to be stupid come Black Friday, and we're going to end up getting in more trouble than what we should be in right now. But hopefully there's an end to this, and we end up getting fans in the stands for sports like college basketball starting back up. Finally, Ohio State played for the first time since they were shut down back in March.
True.
If they end up having the ability that you and I could get next to each other like this and not have to worry about people complaining, I'll be happy. That's where we hopefully are at sooner rather than later. I had the hope that we're at the light at the end of the tunnel. I want to see wrestling shows have people at them again, and I want to see wrestling shows again. I want to see baseball with fans in attendance. I want to see Cavs, and I hope that I hope you don't end up having this world change completely and people are afraid to be by one another.
I think it's going to stay the same. Even if everything gets rid of, I think they're going to keep this style going on.
It's just sad. It's frustrating. Obviously, you got to do what you got to do. Anyways, on that note, everybody, catch us next Sunday, this upcoming Sunday, not next Sunday. We'll be at First Stop Bar and Grill, 11 till 12:45 or so, talking sports, talking about football, Ohio State basketball, Ohio State football, Ohio State as a whole. We'll hopefully be joined by Brandon Croucher of Delight Cafe CBD again. But until then, on Sunday, listen to us up until then. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your cat, tell your dog, tell your niece or nephew. I don't care who you tell. Just let us know. If your niece or nephew starts watching, maybe we'll actually clean it up a little bit and we'll watch our mouths.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there. Love yourself, love your friends, love your family, but love sports also.
Be thankful for sports, too, because we went through what we went through. We went through a sadness time. Definitely at the end of the day, sports is an outlet. Be thankful for it. Realize it. Happy Thanksgiving. If you're playing turkey bowls tomorrow, turkey softball games, or whatever, be safe. Be smart. See you on Sunday.
Take care.
Goodbye.